Hi guys, remember to at the
Um,
Barbie Cave
a
and
little bit.
remember to
Does it still sound like?
subscribe.
Does it still look like downloady? Like, does it
Oh,
still
it's
like blotchy?
more clear now.
Okay, awesome. Maybe it was the area that I was in. We gotta relocate the area. Okay, so we were talking about the Chicano style and the Chicano culture. And you were greatly influenced by it from a young age, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, my mom, my dad, my cousins, my aunts, everybody was, you know, gang related. So yeah, very on, early on. So
And I also feel like the Chicano lifestyle, like I feel like Chicanos tend to have a lot of heart too, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel like you guys are a little bit more protected at the same time because you guys follow kind of like a code in a sense, kind of like, oh, okay, like,
we're a
I don't
little,
know, I feel, ah,
we're a little bit harder.
you're like,
Yeah.
but no, but when you guys open up, you guys are sweethearts, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like, through like, I guess, through generations, you kind of learn to kind of like be a little bit more like reserved and know who to like open up to, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, and that's one thing about me. I really don't open up to anybody, not even my family. Two, maybe two people that I've opened up to, and I am very reserved. So yeah, that fits me.
But I also feel like that's also a good thing. It's a good thing, especially like maybe sometimes in business and friendship and love, because you're able to kind of like sometimes there's opinions that aren't the best opinions, and sometimes oversharing can sometimes bring those unnecessary opinions. You know what I'm saying? Or can maybe if you're really like set in doing something, somebody's opinion might make you change that, the thought. I feel like once you get a thought in, it's like I'm gonna do it.
Hmm.
Like because you don't necessarily have somebody telling you no, that's not a good idea or such. Or where do you or how do you think, do you feel that like when you need guidance in some way, who do you go to? Like who is your number one person? Like who do you feel like I gotta, like, this is the person I'm gonna call, and why is that?
Nobody. I'm myself. Sometimes I turn to my husbands, but sometimes your husband, I mean, their opinions are like they don't know. They don't know the business world. They don't
Yeah.
know. So myself, I pushed myself. I have confidence in myself, and I'll maybe run ideas to my mom and advice, but really myself. You
How do
know,
you think how do you think you became so confident though? Was it something that you feel since you were little you were confident? You're like, I like that, I like don't like that. Or was it something that you picked up over the years?
over the years, and I think the urge of wanting it, wanting something different, wanting something better, wanting something more, wanting things that I didn't have now that I could have at arm's reach if I wanted to.
I love that. And what made you have that mentality? Did you just one day when you were like 18, 17, or were you like, because I like interviewed like my friend Lash the Plug. She told me that at a young age she had a lot of hustlers in her life too, like her grandparents and such. Were you at a young age, were you surrounded by that business
But
mentality?
my grandma, I mean, like most of us, my grandma used to clean hotels, and her weekly check or her biweekly check was 700, and that was barely to pay the rent. So seeing her hustle, her grind, taking the bus to get to work, shopping at the Goodwill, living off rice and beans or buying clearance chicken, whatever, to survive pushed me. So
Yeah. So your
and
grandma's a big influence. So this day.
to this day, yes.
So how did you decide on the name? What was the name like? Like were you like, you know what? Like I mean, were you like, because even me coming up with the name was kind of like I sat down with a couple of people and we kind of just ran names. Like how did you like, were you just like, I just, this name fits me,
Oh,
or
I didn't
what made you?
have to do with my name. I didn't pick my business name.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Me and my mom were at an event. So before I started my business, just like anybody else, I was clueless. I didn't know what to do. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to go and do my research. I'm going to join all these groups, these Latina groups, or startup, people who motivate you. So
Yeah.
and one day I invited my mom, and I told her the name of the business that I was going to be before Culture
Yeah.
Addicts.
Hmm.
And she was like, she wasn't feeling it. She's like, it's not you. So while crossing the street to get our stuff, Starbucks, she said, well, why don't you choose Culture Addicts? And I said, I like that. I like the ring. And she chose it, and I went with it.
Okay, so your mom, like she, what about your mom? Like, what do you feel that you've gone from your mom? Because it looks like your mom is really good, like in a sense with even picking a name. Like, do you go to her with like a styles, or do you guys have different styles, or do you guys almost like range in the same style?
Almost in the same style. My mom has a crafting business too, so I
Oh,
learned,
okay.
but she's more a different type of crafting business. More like on a
Yeah.
side. So I learned from her hustle, and she's a hustler, dude. Like she's making money like this, like this, like this. She'll sell you anything, and she can make anything. And
I
she's
love that. I
yeah,
love that because you know what? I had an aunt one time come up to me and she tells me, "I don't know how this is embedded in you. I've tried to embed it in my own kids and I can't embed it. I can't embed this type of mentality." So I love sitting down with bosses like yourself, and
not for everybody.
it's not for everybody.
You
Why do you
have
feel it's not for everybody though? Like
you
it like
have to want it. You have to have ganas. Like you have to. A lot of people quit, and you can't quit when times get hard. You can't quit. Like you got to keep going. You
tell
know.
me of a time Culture, when you were like, you know what, maybe this is not for me. Was there ever a time like that, or
Plenty of times. Let me see. So when I first started my business, not having a platform, not having an audience, no followers, none of that, I started on Etsy. Do you know what Etsy is?
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
started.
of course.
So I started selling on Etsy, and obviously I got shut down because I was selling like Playboy, Chanel, like items that obviously aren't my brand. I don't own the
Yeah.
copyrights for items, so they shut me down. But I was so high on Etsy, like I grown so much, like I was one of the top sellers. So
Okay.
or got shut down, they terminated me like for life. I could never sell again because it's illegal.
Yeah.
Um, I
How
cried.
was that? Culture, how was that? How was that moment that you log into the computer? I'm guessing it was for like a computer or your phone.
Oh, emails. I got emails. I cried. I thought it was the end of the world because without in the crafting world or in the business world, if you don't have like an audience or a platform to sell to, like how are you gonna get traffic? If you're
Yeah.
not known, who's gonna know about you other than your family and friends? On Etsy, they bring customers to you from all around the world. You know,
Yeah.
bring in the customers, and so I was scared, like, but I did my research and I learned about Shopify, which is an e-commerce online website, which most businesses have now.
Yeah.
And then I kept on sharing my work on Instagram. I started on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and my wasn't great like everybody else's work. I was doing press-ons, and I was using my sister-in-law's hands to work on, and I just grew from there. My
Let,
audience.
let's go. Let's go back, Culture. Let's go back to I'm really intrigued in how you can, because I mean you're telling me you're a top seller at Etsy. You pretty much, like, I don't think you envision yourself going to a different platform at this time because you're doing so well in this platform. So
I'm
you're
so
just like you have plans, maybe you have things on making this type of money. You're already thinking about the money you're going to invest and such, and then you wake up today and it's closed. What,
mhm.
like, did you, in that moment, were you like, that's it, I'm done, or were you like, I gotta remarket myself? And how did you decide to rebrand yourself, like almost rebrand yourself at that moment? Because now you're like, okay, I'm not gonna sell directly like that anymore. I'm gonna work it this way.
I mean, I was done. I didn't think about selling again until I told my husband, and he pushed me. So if you could do it, you could do it again. There's a reason why people keep coming back to shop with you.
Yeah.
They love. So
Yeah.
I did my research, and I learned about Shopify. I opened my website, which was hard. Doing your own website is really hard, and my website to this day is not top notch. And it's not because I don't want it to be top. I just don't have the time to put
Of
into it.
course.
We're busy with
Yeah.
work, and I have 4 kids and a husband. So, um, how do I rebrand myself? I started doing things differently. I
Okay.
started me my website, but I started doing vending. I started going to like LA and other places so people could get to know me, and selling my decals there and just putting my name out there in the community. I started volunteering a lot. I started helping like shelters and
I love
people
that.
clothes. I just put myself out there, but with my brand, with my name behind it.
Okay.
That's Culture Addicts, not as myself.
I love that. I love that. And you know what? You went from a very like and it's crazy because a lot of people think that success kind of just goes like this. And
Oh,
success kind of goes like all over the place, and you have to want it, and you have to want it bad. Now, was there ever, I know you told us one of your low moments, tell us one of your high moments, one of your moments where you're like, damn, I'm really doing this. Like, what was that like?
I mean, my family knows when I blew up. My phone, if you have a Shopify account, your phone goes ding, 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 ding every time you get an order, and it was going
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding like nonstop for days. I was getting overwhelmed where I had to bring in help. I trained my husband, I trained my sister-in-law, I trained my mom. We flooded my living room, and for months, that's what we were doing. But that was a high moment. What else? Being featured on Baby Fat was a big deal for me.
And
Um,
we gotta repost that. Like, show us, like, send me that content so I can repost it on here, and we can like actually put it on the YouTube video that I'm gonna actually put up, so we can actually put those highlights.
artists or but it's the nail tech that gets featured more, not the stencil maker, because I'm just a stencil maker. But
Yeah,
it's neat to know that, oh, those are
yeah,
my stencils. Like, I created that was my vision, my idea, so
of course. You're part of the process,
yeah,
because without those stencils, that that content at that moment, or that art couldn't have been created. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there was no Culture Addicts, there would be no set like this. You know what I'm saying? And it's talent that you're bringing to the table. And I love the fact that you shared your low moment already with us, and you shared your high moments. Now, let's go back again to your high moments. So, if you're waking up, it's a regular day, you're used to hearing the bing bing here and there, like kind of
not
like notifications.
like once or twice a week orders back then.
Oh, okay. So you're used to all being, oh, okay, and you would get excited because even if it's one sale when you're coming up, it's exciting. You're like, I made something and it's sold. You know what I'm saying?
$50 that week, like, I got 2 orders. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I made it for me. Like, nobody handed me that money. I went out there, and I put myself out there, and there was like a lot of thoughts that I had to go past by, because there's a lot of good thoughts and also negative thoughts in the business. Like, when you're thinking, you're like, what if it doesn't sell? What if it doesn't do good? Or you start questioning yourself. Like, maybe when you're doing, even when you're even when you're starting a new campaign, like a new marketing campaign, you're like, is this going to be something that's going to sell? Or
Oh yeah.
and then sometimes the one that you think that is going to be the best campaign is not the best, and then sometimes the one that you might have not even put that much effort to is like, oh, that was the one that everybody loves, you know because I
Yeah,
feel like the market's always changing.
it is, and you have to be. My husband's like, you're always on the phone. I'm like, I'm seeing the latest trends. I gotta keep up.
Let Talk to me in a day where you're like, you know what, today I'm just gonna focus on figuring out what's out there. Like, how does that day, or is it every day that you're like on
It's
the market trying to figure out?
every day. It could be anything. For me, it could be anything. I mean, something's happened, something is trending. Like, I don't know, like a song drops. Like, I want to do the new, and I'm so late on this. I want to do the new Carol G and Becky G song. Like, I want to do
Yeah,
stencils along with that, and it's trending right now. Their song
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
popular.
yeah.
So you gotta be on it, on your toes. And sometimes I fall behind. Like right now, getting ready. Oh, I did a 420 drop, and I did the Bad Bunny, because Bad Bunny's he's doing his world tours. So that's in. I was like, I'm not gonna do spring, or yeah, I'm not gonna do butterflies. I'm not gonna do St. Patrick's. I might have things already on my website, but
Yeah,
to me, like year round, that's always gonna be there. So I'm
yeah,
only gonna do I feel are gonna hit, and they do.
yeah.
I sell out every. So
I love that. God bless that. And I'm gonna be sending more positive vibes for your business, of course.
thank
Now, let's talk about a little bit about your personal life. I don't like to go too in depth because everybody has their own personal.
you. Can ask me anything. Like, I'm reserved, like with my personal problems, like
Uh-huh.
I. But everything else, if you follow my personal page, with a lot of my now text do, I'm very
Yeah.
open all day, every day, 24/7. So maybe
I love it,
post.
girly. If you don't mind me asking, I know you're Chicana, but where are your parents from? Are they like what part of Mexico, if you don't mind me asking, or are they both?
My dad's from Guadalajara, and my mom actually from here, but my grandma is from Zacatecas.
Okay, okay, okay. Have you been out there?
No, not to those two places. We're trying to plan a trip to go see like where my grandma grew up and stuff like that. But I've been to Mexico because my husband's family's from Mexico too. So they're from Nayarit, and I bought this year a place in Puerto Vallarta. So I go out there for vacation for fun, but I haven't been to where my family's from. No, not yet.
Okay, I think that's gonna like, it's always nice to kind of know like maybe this is somewhere I might have grown up if things didn't go the way that they went. You know what I'm saying? It's always kind of cool to like revisit a place and really revisit your roots and see where you came from and like how far your family has gone as well. Now let's talk about family. I know a lot of girls that want to get into the business, but one of the thing is that like I have a family, I can't do it because I have kids, yada 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 yada, and they're all valid excuses because I mean there is some kids that you need a full-time job for, and I'm sure that it
Oh yeah,
gets very tricky. So how
it,
do you deal with that? Like how does that look
it's
a regular day in your life?
it's crazy. It's hectic. I'm a normal mom. My kids get on my nerves. Like or or my son's my oldest. He's more independent. He's 11, but everybody's under 11. I have toddlers, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old. So I have to get everybody
Okay.
ready for school. And I have a dog that poops everywhere. It makes mess. It chews everything up. So, and then I have a husband who's very traditional, very old fashioned, the way old times.
Yeah,
Cook, clean, hot meals, that type of husband. And I respect that because he takes care of me. I'm
I
up
love that.
here. I do that for him. It's equal. But my life is hectic with my business. It's very hard to balance. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, some days my house is a mess. Some days it's not. Some days I have orders everywhere, and I don't touch my house. I'm focusing. Okay, did I cook? I already cooked. I dropped the kids. I'm working, and I'm not even touching my house. I'm just focusing on getting the orders out.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's hard.
so like, I know
Doable.
that you touched base on your husband being a big supporter of you. I know that your husband's a big supporter of you. Now, do you feel that it ever like that you ever had to sit down and say, you know what, I gotta like give myself this amount of time for work and then this amount of time for like family? Like, did you ever feel that it was overlapping?
Yeah, I've had a reality check because I mean, business blew up so fast, and I didn't know how to handle it. I had mom here, I had my sister-in-law here. There was no time alone for me and him because I had everybody at my house helping me,
Yeah.
and it was nonstop. Like we were working till like 2 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 5 or 6 because it was crazy. But then he told me like, I love what you do, and I know you love what you do, but you really need to. He sat down, he talked to me. You really need to figure out how to manage your time more better, your family
Yeah.
time. And I did. So I cut off. I hardly do orders on weekends, and if I
Okay.
do, because like we already had a full day out, we went to brunch, we did our family thing already. So I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna work because I love to. But no, he sat down with me and he's like, you got to manage your time. Like everything, you're all over the place, and it's
But
true.
how was that? Because I know that like you get really passionate about your work and it's really hard because you're like, this is my name, my it's me out there, I'm sure that sometimes you catch yourself on the phone, you're like, let me put the phone down or
Oh
let me
yeah,
just relax.
the urge to look or to, what really messed me up. When you go on a website and it says chat with us or ask us a question, like it's
Yeah.
really a bot. Like,
Yeah.
but that bot, when the bot doesn't know the answer, that's me replying. You know,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
so it's like more work when people recently have been asking a lot of questions. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I gotta reply fast because if not, it's like this website sucks. Like there's nobody there,
No,
and
I
it's
get you.
I'm the robot when the robot can't help.
Okay. Can't reply. And I love that. I love that you're so into your business. Like you really take care of your business, and you really care for your consumer or your whoever's buying from you. Especially you were telling me that you actually talk to a lot of nail techs. How was that? How did you get into the nail game? Let's talk about that. Like what got you into the
Um,
nail game?
I've been
How
in
did
the
that start?
well, having a passion for getting my nails done, or I mean,
Overall, let me know. Start it off
when I was
however you remember it happened.
younger, me and my cousins, we go down to in San Diego. It's called Highland Avenue. We would catch the trolley or the bus, and we go get our nails done. Back then, it was square tip burgundy or like a coffee color, maybe white tip. And back then, airbrush was everywhere. It was like nothing. So my passion for getting my nails done started then, and then kind of stopped when I started having kids and certain office job. I worked in the medical field. I couldn't have like long nails, so it
How
stopped.
was that? How was that? Like going into
Horrible.
and why did you go into the medical field? Because I feel like a lot of girls that I know went
Okay.
into the medical
Oh,
field and
so hi, amiga. So I went to the medical field. Okay, what was I doing before? Oh, I got pregnant. So when I got pregnant, right before, I was doing makeup, and I work at a nail bar. It was called V2R Nail Bar here in San Diego downtown. And basically, you do nails, and you drink champagne, and it was like a bougie. So I did that, and I did waxing because I'm a licensed esthetician as well. So I did
awesome.
that, but I ended up pregnant with my first son, and I panicked. I was like, I need insurance,
Yeah.
drinking and the drinks coming up.
What are
So
you drinking, by the way? Hold on. What are you drinking?
wine.
Oh, I was gonna drink wine, and I was like, this bitch is gonna be like, Claudia, fucking you over there all bougie. I want to drink
Oh
wine, but
no,
I was like,
I'm a beer person, but I didn't have time. I was busy. I had cheer practice, so all I had in the fridge was wine. But
I love it. Continue. Sorry.
so I was doing freelance makeup and doing nails. I worked for Fox 5 News. I was doing makeup for them, but then I ended
Okay.
up and I went to school to be a medical biller and coder, and I wanted a job that had insurance. So that's why I left the beauty industry.
Was that hard? Was that a hard moment for you?
Because now that I look back, I mean, I'm not. If you in the medical field, props to you. But I look back, I feel like I just wasted time. Like I could have been. I mean, even in the makeup, I could have been, working on my craft. You know,
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
more experience.
Do you think that you going into the medical field was a moment of fear, like of that, like oh my god, like I
Yeah,
need to like
yeah. I felt back then it was like nails, doing hair, makeup wasn't a real job. you know, it
yeah,
was tabooish. It was looked down upon. It wasn't
yeah.
nothing serious. It wasn't taken serious as it is now.
And
Times are
I
different now.
and I love this, and I love
So,
the fact that you can make a really good income off of nails and just even the
mhm.
beauty industry and all the different branches that it's connected to. Like if you don't like this, you can do that. If you don't like this, you can
I
do
told
the
my
other.
husband, wait until my kids are old. Right now, I could only, and I like this, that I don't have to see clients or anything, and I just focus on
Hmm.
work.
Hmm.
But I want to see clients a little bit, just to better. I said, just wait till my kids grow up. I mean, maybe a little bit older, but I feel like I'm going to kill it more. You
I
know?
think so too, and I think because I mean, talk about is there any nail techs that influence you that you were like, okay, like I feel like getting back into the game, like I love that, like that you like maybe look forward to looking at, or that you're like, oh my god, it's cool. Like, is there like, is there
Yes.
like,
I love Elle by Christy. I love Cheyenne Nails. I love Vanessa. Oh my god, I love Vanessa. All of my ambassadors. Desiree. She is freaking amazing. There's so many that I love, and believe it or not, I have such a great bond with these nail techs that I see other nail techs post negative things about other nail techs on the news feed, and how nail techs are so, they bicker or they're so down on each other. And I'm like, how? Like, I have such a great, um, what's it called? A great,
group?
A group, yeah, I guess you could say group, but I just communicate with them good. There's
Yeah.
no hostility, none of that. Like
No
it's just
bad blood.
yeah, no bad vibes. It's amazing. Like it's all
Yeah.
love. It's all love. So
And and
yeah.
I feel like my chicanas that do like nails, I feel like they tend to stick together. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like a certain type of style of nail styles, it tends to be one group. Like, and you can kind of tell what kind of style like the nails. It's like, even like I sat down with Vanessa, and Vanessa can do all types of nail styles, but there's a certain trend that she
Like
adheres to, that she likes the most, because like you don't really see her doing the sweater nail style, but she can do it like nothing. I've never done it. She's like, and she gets it down like nothing, and she's never even practiced it. But I feel like the Chicano nails, I feel like that's something different, because I know there's the Buchona nails, but I feel like it's a hybrid nail now. It's like with the
yeah,
airbrush and the bling and the thing. I feel like we're like into the
com-
Chicano culture, and
combination of both.
right,
Now,
and it.
like, go ahead.
No, 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 go, go, go.
A few weeks ago, this nail had ripped off. Right now, there's no nail. I don't know nail, but so it's just acrylic. But I had to go to Shorties, like little tiny, tiny, tiny Shorties, and they did like I don't know, like a little nice dainty design, little boochiness. I like the
Yeah,
boochiness, not me. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
it has to be
yeah.
like really clack. Like it's not me. It's not. I don't. I didn't feel right. So I took them off, and I went to my nail tech. I was like, I need long nails, please.
Yes, yes, and it's always, I feel like a lot of the time they're like, how do you write with those long nails? How do you? I feel like you have to train yourself. Like, you can't just start off with long nails. You have to like kind of start off with the training nail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, you start off a little smaller.
yeah. Mine's were cut down. She's like, "Are you sure you want to?" Like, this is fine.
You're like, this is me, girl. So, girlie, talk to us. So, how was it like? How did you finally decide to quit this billing job? Like, when did you say, you know what, that's enough?
Um, no, I didn't quit. I was on my maternity leave with my third child.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to stay home. I had a little issues with the. Okay, well, technically, I'm not allowed to speak about it. So we had a little lawsuit go on because I was laid off while pregnant. Technically, that's
Okay, okay,
okay. So there was like a little lawsuit going on. So that's why I didn't go back. And
okay.
then husband was like, "Well, you don't need to go back. Like, just stay home." I mean, we already had 3 kids back to back, all little ones, and I need to stay home and take them to school and focus on the kids. And he's always been well off, so he's always taking care of me. So I didn't need to work. And I, what happened? I had my fourth child, or I was pregnant with my fourth child. I was getting my nails done, and I had like a certain design, a certain vision, and in my head. So I went to my local, salon nail tech down the street, and she couldn't do it. And I was tired of them saying, "Oh no, we don't do this style. This style, oh that's so old. Like nobody does that anymore." So I was like,
How was
I know,
that? How was that? Like, I mean, it sucks when you're looking for
but
something and you just can't get it.
yeah, it's very frustrating. And back then, I didn't have such a huge nail following, or did I follow a bunch of nail techs?
Hmm.
It was hard, like trying to find a nail tech that worked from home and that was creative. Well, it was hard for me.
Hey,
So
Vanessa.
I you're very late. I'm just late.
So
So,
you're saying it was really hard for you. It was hard for
so
you.
I'm gonna go ahead and create it myself. I'm gonna give it a shot. I ran it through my mom, and she's like, "Yeah, go for it, go for it." So I started creating. I started with decals first. I
Okay.
think I had wanted some Selena nails. Who's messaging me? Somebody.
No, you're fine, girlie. No worries.
No, it's a follower messaging me privately. I wanted some Selena nails and some images, and she couldn't do them. So I did my research, learned how to do it, and that's how it started
I
in
love
20.
that. I love the fact that you research it. You don't necessarily, because we've had one time, and sometimes, like, tell me how you feel about this. You have to go out there and put in the work, and you have to go research, and sometimes it might be a whole week or even a couple of months before you even find out the information you're trying to find out. How do you research? Like, what is your research? Like, what do you like? How do you get into that? Like, do you just say, okay, like I'm just going to like just start adding groups, or how did you like find out that that was a powerful tool that you had when you were like, oh, okay, I can just do this for everything. Like I could just like how was your game plan? Or were you always like that since you were little? Like I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna find out. Because a lot of people in these day and age they're looking for a handout. They don't want to do the homework. They don't want to go out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? How does your mind work in
No
that
hand.
ref?
Mommy had me working since I was 15. No
Okay.
handouts here. I've been on my own since 17, 18. Um, I knew I wanted to do it, and I knew it was possible because remember, my mom was in a crafty business already, and then she was doing like shirts and certain items with images, right? I was like, what if I could put that on a nail? How would that
Okay.
work? So I just researched, and I started um,
Work it.
researching
Yeah.
manufacturers. I was like, no, 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 it's cost
Hmm.
too much. The images were like
Yeah.
they they weren't cool. They were your basic images. Like I want something cool. I want something that's gonna sell. Something that the consumers can relate to. Something different. And I started off with water decals, and I started off with Selena. I think back then Cardi B was trending, and that's how it started. Started selling like that.
And you know what, dude? I love that. I love that because I feel like you saw there was an open space for the market. Like you saw kind of like nobody is like you went out there, you looked for it, it wasn't there, and you're like, you know what? There's a market for this. Like there is like when did you realize there was other girls that thought like you? Like or did you always know that, you know what, if I want it, then there's probably a bunch of other girls that want it too.
When people started just commenting, how can I order? Before I even had Etsy or anything, I would just like posting pictures on my Instagram.
Yeah.
But um, I noticed that there was already people in the business selling it, and they didn't like the idea that I was selling it. So that was like another bad side of trying to start your own business when you have what people call competitors, um, not like you just because you're selling something similar.
How was it?
And
Like how was that?
now, now these days, there's so many businesses that sell decals, and thank God I get along with most of them. But there were some big names out there. They're like, no, you can't do that. Like, I'm like, why not?
Did
You
they
know?
message you directly? You don't
Oh
have to say what it is. You don't have to say what it is. But did they
yeah.
message you directly, or how was that? Like, how was it? You woke up one day and they just said you can't do this. Like, oh, girl, like, what do you mean you can't do this? I might keep doing this.
Shut down. They try to help me. I think that's one of the reasons my Etsy was shut down
You
because
think so?
they went out of the way to report my page. Yeah, they're just
And that's
non.
something else. That's something else because you feel like you're just waking up. You're just like you didn't take this idea from them. This is something that you've been like into from a very long time. You were
That
inspired by your mother and a lot of other things.
when I got those messages, I was selling like I think Nipsey Hussle had just passed away, so I was doing a lot of Nipsey Hussle. So I'm like, you don't even sell like this is hood. You don't sell this kind of stuff. Why are you
Yeah.
like? Because people are liking me and supporting me, and I don't know, but you know how that goes. Not everybody's gonna love you.
Not everybody's gonna love you, but also like I feel like going out of their way to like just kind of sabotage another colleague. It's kind of like there's so many clients out here. There's no way you're gonna get them all. You know what I'm saying? Like at
Yeah,
the end of the day, there's so many stores, and it's like fashion. There's so many stores. Like you like people are gonna buy endless supply of different things. And if it's like it's a style that you're not even offering, how are you like gonna sell to that crowd anyways? It's
exactly. We could
you know.
all. Everybody. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has family. Everybody has bread to put on the table. Everybody's hustling their own hustle. So,
I love
but
that.
I like it now because I feel like now I'm getting tagged like with, the big brands, and now so I know I'm popping up on their what's it called, their explore page, TikTok.
You're like, damn, we stop her at Etsy.
That's what happens. Paybacks up.
You're like, I keep coming back. I keep coming back.
Yeah.
I love that, girl. I love the fact that you built a family while you were building a business. I am glad that you showed your vulnerabilities like most of us. Like sometimes, yes, we're like, you know what? We need a corporate job. We need a job from 9 to 5 or whatever. I love the fact that you gave your chance a chance to grow and to really learn into what you liked. You know what I'm saying? You gave everything a chance and you were like, this is for me, this is not for me. You know what I'm saying? You build a platform, nobody handed it to you, and you continue to grow.
And even in this, and the not just a decal, but then when I started selling stencils, I kept on getting messages like, "Hey," because when I started selling stencil, not only was I selling, but I was doing TikToks on teaching other people how to make the stencils, so they could do it for their business. And then other stencil makers messaged me, and they were like, "Why are you giving out the secrets? You're affecting." Obviously, I was affecting their business because I was teaching people how to make them, and people weren't going to shop anymore. Just buy Cricut. Nail techs can just buy a Cricut and make them themselves. But some nail techs don't have time. They're booked and they don't want to make their own stencils. But I've
Yeah,
gotten messages like that, like, you're giving out the secrets. But I've always given out. I've always helped others because I've been down so many times,
yeah.
and I helped me. I had to go research and do it myself. So
I love
I
that.
other nail techs or small business owners suffer.
I love that, and you're giving back to the community, and you're helping other females that might have been in the same situation you were at one time, in your life, where you really wanted to get it, but you didn't know where to start, and you did the research, and you're nice enough to hand that information out. And at the end of the day, it's like everybody, if you really wanted to, you can go make a shirt, but who's gonna go make a shirt? They rather just go buy one, right? They rather just like, and I feel like I completely understand where you're coming from. They're always gonna get business, you know what I'm saying? And like there is, and I feel like that's the difference between a brand that's going to make it and a brand that's going to fail. When you start thinking that there's not enough clients, that oh my god, like she shared this secret, I'm never gonna get another customer. I think, like we say, scare money doesn't make money. You have to be comfortable in what you're selling. You got to know that what you're offering is unique to itself. Because even if somebody can make the stencil, doesn't mean that they have the idea to make the stencil that you're thinking of.
Oh yeah, and I've had other nail techs that are big in the game, and they make their own stencils, and I see them like, like, oh, little rock star, like, what I'm saying, like that. Like they're so, like, they're doing you, like, makes me, even though like I'm not teaching them, but I know they probably were inspired. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so
Tell
proud of
me,
them.
tell me, girl, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Have you thought that far ahead, or what do you like? Where would you like to
Oh,
be?
I have goals. The only thing my goals are on pause because my living situation. Obviously, I live in San Diego's very expensive. I live in an apartment, it's 3-bedroom apartment. I can't expand my business because this is my space. I have a small space for me to order big stuff that comes in boxes, basically. I don't
Mhm.
know. I want a nail supply. I feel like I'll be there. I know I will.
Yeah.
But I want a big house with a big warehouse. So that's my goal. Oh my! I've thought about leasing, but after doing the cost, leasing here is no way. It's like 10,000 a month.
Oh wow, that is some serious money. That is some
Yeah.
serious money. But remember, for everything, there's always been an obstacle, and you've overcame it. And I'm
Oh,
sure that you'll find a way. You'll
oh
find a
yeah.
way. You just need a little bit of time, but you'll find a way to make it work. Right
Yeah.
now, I think you're just gathering information, and you're trying to see, okay, where are we gonna do this, and that's smart. You have to kind of be realistic with numbers and really like say, hey,
Mm.
this is what I can do currently. This is where I need to be, and but you already have an idea, because there's a lot and sadly there is a lot of females out there that have no idea in what they want to do or what they want to be, and it's also a blessing to know that you kind of like you have the idea of where you want to be, and what
I
you're
have
working
every
for.
so I know my aesthetic. I have everything. It's a vision that's a far reach right now.
Yeah, but it's gonna get there.
Oh,
You're speaking it to existence. You heard it here first, guys. When you see her with the warehouse, we're gonna repost this video, and then we're gonna post the warehouse that she's gonna get. Trust and
yeah.
believe. So let's talk about your kids. So you're saying, how many kids do you have again, girlie?
4 kids.
4 kids in total. How is that? Do you feel that because I've talked to and I've even read this that it's a really good thing to share kids at a young age about money. So you being in this industry, I'm sure that your kids see, how mommy makes money, how hard she works, and it's opening them to horizons that might have not been, there's a lot of people that don't have that, or a lot of kids that don't have like parents where they, because a lot of the older generation doesn't really talk to kids sometimes about money. It's kind of like a hush hush. You don't know how much money's in the house. You just kind of like know mommy makes money. But you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel like this has impacted your family in a sense?
We're very open about money here because we have a goal. Our goal is to purchase a home. So right now we're doing what's it called? The money book. What's that called? The money planner where you put so much money away in a week.
Okay, okay, okay. I love that. Don't let us know how that works. Let us know how that works, because maybe there is some girls in here that would love to like start something like that for themselves.
You could. Our goal is to save 48,000 within a year.
Okay.
Separate. I put in. I think I put in 500 a week, and my husband puts in 500 a week. So we're putting in 4,000 a month,
Okay.
and hopefully, because to buy a house is it's ridiculous. Yeah, a budget organizer, something like that. But as we're, I'm my oldest son. I'm showing him like, look, this is how much we're putting, and he's putting the decals, the stickers, like decorating it, and that
Yeah.
way you know how to save, or I teach him. I'm gonna get him his own debit card because he keeps borrowing my debit card. He's only if he wants to buy his hot Cheetos or his Arizona drink, and he wants to go next door because we have a liquor store next door. I give him my
Yeah.
debit, teaching him like how to count money, use debit cards, withdraw, and say
I love that.
if you do this, you earn this much this week, so you could go buy. He's a skater, so you go buy like whatever you need for it. So little things like that, yeah. And my
I
daughter,
love that.
she's like, she wants to get into nails, but I'm like, no, you're only 7.
What did she say, Mom? I want the stilettos.
Oh, she likes her favorite color is burgundy. I'm like, that was my color back in the day, burgundy. Yeah.
That must have been something, because like I have a friend, and like she's her biggest like accomplishment and her biggest dream was always to have kids. So when she had her 2 kids, like she always tells me, like, I don't have kids myself, so when she tells me about her kids, she's always like, "Oh my God, I was gonna cry. She did this." So I can imagine how
Oh,
emotional that was to even find out that she liked
oh.
the
If
same color you did.
if you follow my personal page, you'll see how crazy. I mean, I really try not to post too much personal on this page,
No, completely understood. Yeah.
but I do on my other page, and my 3-year-old is wild. Like he is, and I'll record him, and I'm always showing with him and my dog are getting into, and they're troublemakers.
Who do you think, I'm sure all your kids, but who do you feel got the most essence of you? Like, just even you're like, you are like a little mini me. Like, it is, I mean, I know all your kids probably have a sense of you, but like, which one do you feel like, you know what, just like me?
Right now at this moment, my daughter,
Oh,
she
okay.
I mean, she does her own makeup. When we go out, she has to do her blush, her mascara, her lipstick. Like she wears makeup, and I let her wear makeup because she's expressing herself. A lot of
Yeah.
parents don't agree, but you don't have to. But I feel like she's my sister-in-law. She's defending her God. She's bad. I feel like right now she's my mini me. But growing up, I don't think she was. I mean, I felt growing up, I wasn't as glamorous as I am now. I feel like I'm more glammed.
Okay. So what got you into that? Like, let us know, like, what is it? Were you just like, I gotta be tougher? Like, or you're like, you know what? I can be myself now. Like, what is it? Like, what was it about the glam, or what do you think inspired you to be more glamorous?
The confidence it gives me. I mean,
Ooh.
my makeup, I just feel more confident, more beautiful. Because without makeup, ooh, girl, I got no
No, girl,
eyebrows.
I'm sure you're so beautiful without makeup. But I feel like sometimes it's like you have you ever like, and we talk about this on the channel a lot, like, and I know that, like, like self-care, and then also like knowing where your emotions lie and knowing how you're feeling. Have you ever like dealt with anxiety? Have you ever dealt with depression? Have you ever dealt with
Um,
anything that you would like to speak about? Because I know in my last talk we talked about anxiety a lot and how that plays a major role because it's like I have anxiety, I don't know if I can do this, but I still push through that.
I really don't have anxiety. I don't think I've ever dealt with anxiety. I know my husband has it a lot. He's always telling me, but reflecting off what he tells me, I don't think I've ever had anxiety. I don't get anxiety. Have I ever been depressed? Maybe at a young age, as a childhood, because I had a little traumatic childhood. But as a teenager, adult, no, I've never been
You've
depressed.
always just kind of pushed forward. Like there's never been anything that you felt has gone in your way. Some people also like made like confidence, confidence to even like sell themselves because it takes a lot of you have to have a lot of confidence. Or what is something that you would say you need in this game to succeed? Like what do you think is a major key component that you feel has really helped you elevate yourself to the next level um in this
Knowledge,
industry so far? Knowledge.
knowledge, being
I love that.
knowledgeable.
I love
Yeah,
that.
be out here in this game, not knowing what you're doing. Like you got to be knowledgeable. The consumers are they're gonna ask. They're gonna want to know.
Yeah.
Why does this? Why does this spot? Or why is the stencil too? Like you have to know. You have to be experienced. Yeah.
How do you think you got that knowledge? I know that a lot of it was research, but how did were you just getting
A trial and error. I
trial and
mean,
error?
yeah, I know when I started off with decals, my water slide decals, some of them were too thick, too hard. Some of them were cracking. I had customers say they were cracking, or when you would put the monomer, a lot of nail techs don't know you cannot put monomer directly on a decal. It's going to eat it up. Chemical, it's going to eat it up. So just trying to make a good quality decal.
How
That
was that? I mean, I'm sure that that must have like made you feel some type of way. Like I'm sure that you always want your customer to be very happy with what you've given them, and you believe in the product. How was that? I mean, did that ever like almost make you want to not stop necessarily, but it kind of gave
no,
you like a headache, or was it just
it just makes me want to go back to the table. What did I do
oh,
wrong? Because sometimes when you have so many orders and it's handmade, you're just spraying. Sometimes maybe you put too much paint on it, the acrylic
yeah?
in it, which makes it thick. Or sometimes the decals bleed because you don't have enough acrylic
Mm-hmm.
on it. So I would just go back. Obviously, send the customer another one and see if it works for them. But most of the time, go back and maybe it's the paper, the manufacturer. I've switched so many times papers.
So don't be scared. Don't be scared to switch the formula up. Then you would say, don't be scared to switch up
Oh,
the formula.
switch it up because I go off my customers. I may like something, but I'm not the one doing it every day.
Yeah,
There's some that actually just use decals all the time. It's just easier for them.
yeah.
So I go off the customer what they tell me. So
Okay. So you enjoyed the feedback that you get.
yes, like the nail tech that does my nails. Um, she honestly told me, I don't like this paper. It's too thick. It's too hard to lay flat. And that's great. That's her opinion. But for her, I make it the old school way, the way I used to make it, a little bit more thinner.
Okay.
So, but what I sell now, I kind of mess with you know, the ingredients.
I
It's better
love
now.
that though. I love that you're not scared to go back to the drawing board and perfect what you already have. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people that are just stuck in the way, like whether you like it or not, it's not the product, it's you, girl. And I love the fact that you can sit down and you feel comfortable enough to be like, you know what? But when is it when you know that they're just being over dramatic? Is there ever a point where you're just like, no, girl, like it's fine. You just don't know how to use it just yet, or you're just, it's a new product for you.
I don't even let it get to that. First of all, if they get to that, I let them know this is for professional use only. Yes, you could do a manicure at home with decals, but
Mhm.
if you're doing big decals like for a long nail,
Yeah.
you're for professional use, you're gonna have to know how to work the decal, and
I
they're
love
not like little tiny decals that you get, for like little manicure. They're bigger. There's tricks in the game. If it's not laying flat, cut a little slice to it. Cut a slice of paper. But no, I
so
don't even
not
get that that
So
deep because I always.
tell us, girly, for anybody that wants to buy decals, how do you use a decal? Let us know. How do you like place it? How does it work? Because there might be somebody want to buy a decal right now.
Hey, so you get your decal, you cut it to size, to your nail size, depending if it's a full wrap or like a little design. You cut it to the nail size that you need it.
Okay.
You want to trim off anything that you don't need. You just want the image. So you try to cut as detailed as you can. You place it in room temperature water for like 10 to 15 seconds. You're going to slide off the decal, and you could get a paper towel or you could place it on a nail. Either way, you can place it on a paper towel or the nail. You want to dab out any excess water. You don't want no air bubbles. Place it on the nail, dab out the water, and you could top coat or cure. Or you could even encapsulate it. It's up to you.
Do you have a video showing on your page how to do this
Yeah,
as well?
it's called in the highlights.
In the highlights, right? Because we're gonna share that. We're gonna share them the video so we can give it like a recap, just in
Yeah,
case anybody wants to. It just in
do
case anybody wants to buy some of your decals, they know how to use it. Because I'm sure sometimes they go to your page and they're like, "This is amazing, but how do you use it?" You know what I'm saying? Like you're new to the game. You're new nail tech. You don't know the game of the airbrush game. You
when
know what
they're
I'm saying?
new. When they're new, they're in my DMs. I'm sending them videos or walking
I
them through.
love that.
They're in my DMs, and I try to answer all my DMs, but sometimes like
It gets hard.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know that Instagram has a tool and maybe you're using it already, but Instagram has that tools. Have you used it where it says save replies? Have you
No,
ever seen it? Okay.
no.
So I'm gonna tell you something. So on Instagram, you can go on tools like creator tools. You go there. And let's say people ask you the same question over and over, and you can always copy and paste it. But there you can just copy and paste it one time. It tells you what keyword do you want it like this message to populate under. So you say, I don't know, new to decals, and then you put new to decals on the message, and the whole message just populates by itself.
Hmm.
And that
I
would
need one for my
really
air.
save. So you've been giving us so many gems. I'm gonna give you one back. So you do that, and it cuts your time in half because, like, let's say they're always asking the same question. It's kind of hard to copy and paste and go back and forth, because then you got to copy and paste it back and forth. But you just put in the keyword, and everything populates.
I've never even copy and paste. I just every time type it all up or I'll speak it.
No, you
You
see
know,
what I'm saying?
Vanessa. I don't know if you talked to her like one on one, but she likes to speak to the phone, right?
To the
She,
phone. Yes.
I
It,
started doing
it
it's just easier because I person I have so many typos.
No, no, no. Yeah. So you just write it out one time and that's it. So for me, they're always asking me about the next workshop or what it comes with or what does the kit come with and all this other stuff, like, and I mean, as I don't have the time all day, sometimes I, of course, like want to answer all the questions, but it's like, and then you forget because you start doing something else and I'm like, oh my God, I never replied to this message, and now you feel bad because people's times matter to you. It's just the fact that at that moment a lot could be going on.
Sucks is that um on my website, in order to when you order stencils, if you want certain designs, I say DM me, right? You
Yeah,
send me your list of DMs. Then I'll
yeah,
have like a set, or I'll have like a giveaway, and I'll have hundreds of tags, right?
yeah, yeah,
So I miss those messages. So I was like, I need to figure something out where the messages don't go miss because I'm
yeah.
over here reading everybody's tags, so it's sending their messages to the top and the unread
Yeah.
ones to the.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay. You know what? I would suggest like looking into Instagram tools because they're giving a lot of tools to creators. And then this one's one that's really helped me out because like either they want to know my location. So I'll just put location and my whole location populates for them and I don't have to like copy and paste it or
at
write it out.
page, is it automatically a creator page?
Um, just go to the tools on the top, or we can talk about it offline, and we can talk about it,
Yeah.
and then I'll teach you how to use that because they have a lot of good things going on right now with the creator, and they're like letting you know, like they're letting you know on there everything, like you have the most interaction with people, or when do people visit your page the most. Like, it's just giving you all the insights that you need to know about your business. Or if you're going to do a new campaign, they're going to let you know when you need to promote it, when people are mostly on your page.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
need
say it's three.
time stuff gets thousands and thousands of views, and sometimes it gets like 12. It's
Yeah,
awful.
you know what I'm saying, and it all could be timing. And I'm just like you. I'm a business owner, just trying to learn, from my fellow colleagues like yourself. And I really wanted to create this YouTube channel for like bosses, because I just really enjoy knowing like the background behind the boss. Because there is a lot that comes with like being able to like run a business. And I love to see everybody has a different output, and everybody tells me like a different like trait that they need. For you, it was knowledge, and I love that because I haven't heard that yet. And obviously, of course, knowledge is a big one, but I like how you emphasize that knowledge was a big thing, because it really is. I mean, let's get away from the beauty industry. Right now you see a lot of rappers that don't have knowledge and sign these contracts, and now they're stuck in these like the record labels making no money, and they have some of the biggest hits.
Yep.
You
Hold
know?
on. Jacob! Sorry, I gotta yell at my
No,
kid.
no, no, you're fine, girly.
That he's here. He's gonna walk in with all four of my kids. I had
No
to send
worries.
for an hour.
No worries, girly. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day today and sitting down with us. And you really taught us so much about culture addicts. I really enjoyed our conversation. We need to do this again soon, and let us know
Yes.
what you're working on when